Hey guys, it's me, Shaw360, and today we are opening copy number 3 of Super M's album. Fun fact, this copy was sent to my mother's house. My mother lives in the same town I do, and it was put at the doorstep of her neighbor, and because her neighbor don't read, they just opened this package. Like straight up just like, oh, this must be for me. So that is the reason why not only was it not at my mom's house the day it was delivered, I did not get it until way later, and my copy looks to be damaged. I'm not sure what I want to do about that. I was thinking that I might just tell Amazon that it was delivered wrongly and have them send me another copy. I mean, I shouldn't lie to Amazon, but also Amazon makes billions upon billions of dollars so they can eat this lie. Anyway, I say all that to say it was delivered to the wrong doorstep, and the copy I have is damaged. So you can see, maybe or not, I don't know, that there's a line underneath the plastic of the copy I got. It's also got a dent right here. Yeah, it's just in bad condition, which is not what I wanted. So yeah, I'll probably try to get another one. But in the meantime, let's see what our pulls are, since this is the green copy of the Super One album. So I have a blue copy that is Taman's group subunit. I have an orange copy that is the Target limited edition cover. And now I have the Amazon green limited edition cover. Those are the only ones I plan on buying. However, I may buy another copy of this album from the independent record shop in my town, because I don't know if you guys got the same text message. Super M texts me all the time, and they said that if you go to certain independent record stores, that they will have a special pen that you can get if you buy a copy of the album from them. And that seems like a really fun little thing to have. So follow the link on the text message to see if there's an independent record store near you that will have access to these special pens. They're like enamel pens. And if they do, go get you a pen. Why not? Why not? So, yeah, let's see what's inside of here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I feel cards. I feel cards everywhere. Everything just fell out all of a sudden. Oh, I think I got group cards. I think I just got group cards. Oh well, luck can't last forever. So the ID that I got is Kai. That's whose ID card I got for the green version. And it looks like I got 2 group cards. So here's the 2 group cards that I got because, of course, my luck couldn't last forever. And then let's see whose postcard we ended up with. Ah, we got Mark. Awesome, because on my first copy, I opened it and I said I got Mark, and I actually got Lucas, and I felt like an asshole. But now I actually do have Mark, so there you go. I have Mark. So I still have to buy some Taman cards. I need to get Taman's green card. I need to get Taman's blue card. I need to get Taman's postcard because I don't have it yet. And I need to get Taman's solo card. So yeah, that those are the things that I need. It's a nice photo card, by the way. Just like FYI, this is the photo card, which again is like super high gloss, like really really super nice. Like it's an excellent card. It's really really good. Yeah, it's hella clear. It's hella clear. These are, I have to say, these are the best postcards that I've ever gotten in any K-pop anything. These are the best postcards, and I say that without any shady intent. They're glossy and they're like super HD, and they look wet. I don't know how else to put it. It looks very vibrant. Like, Stephanie, what do you think of this postcard here?
It looks very bright.
Yeah, it's like, it looks like a photograph.
Shiny, very glossy.
Yeah, it looks like a photograph. So, like, the best postcards I've ever received from anything. And then you've got these ID cards, which I like that they're thick, but the thing that I just absolutely can't stand about this release is the fact that you either get one individual card and one group card, or you might get 2 group cards. I would like to know who at Capitol Records decided that this was the move. Like, because everybody keeps saying, oh, SM fucked up with this. But remember, this is a SM and Capitol Records joint venture. And I get the feeling that what happened was they said to themselves, oh, this will be a way to get people to buy more copies because people are going to keep buying copies, hoping to get individual cards. And it's going to make the individual cards more rare. So people say it makes more sense for me to buy another copy than try to buy the photo card on the open market. And to that, all I have to say is you are banking on the wrong thing, because there are some people who will hunt down all these versions and they will decide to buy more copies, and then you have people like me who are eventually just going to get tired and they're not going to do it. So like, I would love to have Taman's cards, but if I can't trade for Taman's cards, I'm not going to get Taman's cards. Straight up. If I can't trade for Taman, like if I can't trade Kai's green card or Mark's blue card for Taman, or if I can't trade Mark or Tin or Lucas's postcard for Taman, then I'm not going to buy another copy hoping to get Taemin. And if I can't get Taman's solo card by trading it for my Taeyong card, then I'm just not going to have Taman's card, because this is, again, not a release that I'm just super duper fond of the songs. And also, you know, I have other bills to pay. These aren't very expensive albums, but once you've bought 3 copies, you've spent $60 because you're spending money on tax. So like that factors into the cost of it as well. So it's not like super cheap. It actually costs some money, and I'm just not willing to throw away that much extra income on buying multiple copies of an album that I don't really even like all that much. Taman's different. I did buy extra copies of Act 1 because like that's a really good album. If I have to be stuck with extra copies of that, I'm not mad at all. But yeah, I'm not that one. I'm not the one or the two. I'm so sorry. But tell me, who did you guys get in your copies? If you have a copy, who did you get? Because I'm interested to know. I know Jade only ended up with like 1 solo card in the copies that she bought. And I know a lot of other people. I know Meg pulled a whole bunch of group cards. So I know a lot of people got stiffed on this one. A lot of people got stiffed. So what did you end up getting? Did anybody get double group cards like I did? I feel like maybe most of you did. Also, I didn't show it before. This is the Amazon poster. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, that's the Amazon poster. It's cute. It's a cute poster. Kai ain't got no shirt on. All he's got on is a jacket. I don't understand this. So Baekhyun has on a t-shirt with his jacket wrapped around his waist. Taeyong's got a t-shirt and a jacket on. Kai's got no shirt and a jacket on. Taemin's got on 2 jackets and a t-shirt. Mark's got on a t-shirt and a jacket. Lucas has got on a jacket and what looks to be maybe a sweater underneath. And then Tin's got on like a thermal and a jacket over it. What is the temperature in this room? Like, seriously, what is the temperature in this room? Because it makes no sense to me. Okay, so we're going through here. Sky Sapphire says, I'm in a group order, so I'm hoping to get Taemin when the group order manager does PC sorting when the albums get shipped to her. Good luck to you. Alex says, I got lucky that both of my 2 copies, I also got solo cards in each copy. That is good luck for you. Alondra says she got the orange Taemin ID card. That's the one that I got. Kai's solo card, the group postcard, and the group photo card. Ooh, I bet the group postcard is nice. There's 2 group cards. If I could trade one of my solo cards first for Taemin and then trade my other solo postcards for the group cards, that would be really nice. I would love to do that. Alex said he got no duplicates. So yeah, y'all did really, really well. This was a tough one, y'all. This was a really tough one. Take that. All right. But that's all. Today, Mason sent me a tweet that was a preview of the new Blackpink song, which is Lovesick Girl. I am going to reserve judgment about how I feel about that song until the song in its entirety comes out, because I feel certain that I'll be thrown for a loop in some way, somehow. And so I don't want to say how I feel about it until I've actually heard the full thing. Right now, I feel very ambivalent. Um, but I hope that the album is good. They've got a Cardi B feature on the album. I'm excited to hear the album. I think the album will be interesting. As I've said before, I've gotten over kind of my Blackpink hard feelings. I don't have hard feelings about Blackpink anymore. I'm more just kind of like just trying to see if they'll let them grow. That's my main thing, is will they let them grow. Speaking of Blackpink and 2NE1, who is CL signed to? Does anyone know who CL is signed to? I don't say that because I'm being facetious. She's on Weverse, which that doesn't necessarily mean she signed a big hit, because FNC's new group is going to be on Weverse. So that doesn't mean anything necessarily. But I don't recall reading any articles about who CL is signed to for her to be releasing music and doing videos and all those other things. So I'm just wondering to myself, who is it? What is she a big hit signee? Is that what happened? She's on Big Hit? Is it a company that's doing business with Big Hit, like a Pledis or a Source Music? Like, I would really like to know more, because I'm very curious, because if she is signed to Big Hit itself, that's massive, because she'd be literally the only girl on Big Hit, I believe. If she is signed to Big Hit and they actually promote her and do stuff for her, that's massive as well. Because that would mean that she is the first project from like an old project that Big Hit is signed to like renew. So that'd be interesting. So Sky Sapphire says, from what Google says, Sun V is under Kakao M. That's surprising, because from what I understood, Kakao, and I could be wrong, but I thought that Kakao has its own like fan site, fan service. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I feel like Kakao is somehow connected to V Live. I don't have my phone to look that up, so I could absolutely be spouting nonsense, but I feel like if she's under Kakao M, she would be using their services rather than using, because like Kakao does group talks. Because I used to be signed up for the Shiny and the Super Junior Kakao Talk group rooms. And like whenever they have promotional stuff, I'd get messages over Kakao Talk. That was before I stopped using Kakao, which I never was a big user, but I just got to the point where it didn't make any sense to use it anymore. So, I don't know, I need to know more of that. Oh! I gotta show you one more thing I bought from Amazon that is K-pop related. Do you know what this is? Ladies, gentlemen, do you know what this is? Do you recognize the name? Do you know what this is?
Wait, isn't Jessica?
Yes, this is the new book by Jessica Jung, K-pop superstar. Let me read her description of what she labels herself, because you know they do the author description on the back. Jessica Jung is a Korean-American singer, actress, fashion designer, and international influencer. Born in San Francisco, Jessica grew up in South Korea, where she trained as a K-pop singer, debuting as a member of the international sensation Girls' Generation in 2007. After going solo in 2014, forced out the group, she launched the successful fashion line Blanc and Eclair. Jessica has been featured on the covers of magazines worldwide. Her brand now spanning many platforms, including film and television. Shine is her debut novel. It says here that the jacket design and art is by Sarah Creech. And that the author photograph is copyrighted by Corridell Entertainment. Do you recognize that name? That's the name of the entertainment company that Jessica is signed to. Also, the entertainment company that is run by her boyfriend / crook. So that's exciting.
Ooh,
Sorry,
Mom.
allegedly.
Mom, you're getting a little spicy.
I am getting a little
Getting
spicy. This tip is trashy. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell from looking at it. This looks very shiny, right? So this S is supposed to be like sparkly, but in like real life, it's kind of dull. Do you see these little candies, star candies that are in the back here? They took the graphic, the shine graphic, and this like sweeping star graphic, and they superimposed that over these candies. But before they did that superimpose, they basically photographed. They took like a Xerox copy of that, and that's how you get the inside book cover. You can even see like the little shimmers and everything. It's mad corny. It feels very, very cheap. It's printed by Simon & Schuster, but it feels very, very cheap. So let's read the synopsis of this bad boy. By the way, this is for ages 14 and up. It sells for $24.99 retail in Canada, $18.99 US. What would you give for a chance to live your dreams? For 17-year-old Korean-American Rachel Kim, the answer is almost everything. 6 years ago, she was recruited by DB Entertainment SM, one of Seoul's largest K-pop labels, known for turning out some of the world's most popular stars. The rules are simple. Train 24/7, be perfect, don't date. Easy, right?
Okay, sorry, that's funny.
Not so much. As the dark scandals of an industry bent on controlling and commodifying beautiful girls begins to bubble up, Rachel wonders if she's strong enough to be a winner or if she'll end up crushed. Especially when she begins to develop feelings for K-pop star and SM Golden Boy Jason Lee.
Rachel?
Try to guess which person on SM she might be codifying as Jason Lee. I actually don't think it's a person on SM. I think this is supposed to be like code for Tekken from 2 p.m., but I digress. Anyway, especially when she begins to develop feelings for K-pop star and DB Golden Boy Jason Lee. It's not just that he's charming, sexy, and ridiculously talented. He's also the first person who really understood how badly she wants her star to rise. Get ready as Jessica Jung, K-pop legend and former lead singer of K-pop's most famous girl group, Girls' Generation. Whoa! Okay, sorry, I said Rachel. But yeah, get ready as Jessica Jung, K-pop legend. Okay, I'm just going to say this now. Jessica, you are not Mariah Carey. It feels very presumptuous of you to call yourself a K-pop legend because outside of your affiliation with Girls' Generation, that is leaps and bounds. You are, girl, you are going for the stars with that reach. K-pop legend and former lead singer of Korea's most famous girl group. I mean, yes, she did have a main vocal spot, but lead singer, Jessica lead singer, takes us inside the luxe hypercolor world of K-pop, where the stakes are high, but for one girl, the cost of success and love might be even higher. It's time for the world to see this is what it takes to shine.
Your narration is not making it any better.
I'm just reading it with the gravitas it deserves. So that is the jacket synopsis of this book. I'm gonna randomly flip through here and let's see if we can find a paragraph. Okay, let's go ahead and go with this. We're starting on page 50. I'm going to read this book. By the way, I just want to let you know, I'm going to be starting a book club because I haven't done a book club in forever, so let this be the notice for those of you who are getting in on the ground floor. I'm going to label the videos when I'm doing them so that you can watch them later if you haven't already read, but the book club is going to start next week probably, because like this week is kind of packed. But I'm gonna do a book club where I'm going to read one chapter every 3 days. I'm gonna try to keep up with that because like, or maybe every 2 days. I think I can knock out a chapter every 2 days. But I'm gonna try to read a chapter and film a video about it and have that up every 2 days. They won't all be live chat. Some of them might be, but some of them won't. But I'll definitely let you know what chapter I'm reading so that you can try to catch up before you watch my video. And I will just tell you whether or not I feel like this is worth it, because I'm pretty sure it's not. But at the same time, I feel like if there's enough good gossip in here, that would be really cool. Honestly, I'm so freaking petty. If I was Jessica, the things that I would talk about in my book would have nothing to do with being a beautiful girl in a beautiful world and how the K-pop industry is trying to tear me down. It would be all about like the greatest scandals I ever heard while I was in K-pop. Like the one time this one girl got rid of the baby of the CEO she was sleeping with, or you know, you don't know which of these boys is call boys, or talking about like which label is funded by mafia money. Like I would be there. Of course, I'd probably also end up getting killed because I'm a messy bitch, but that would be what my book would be about, because I'm all about that scandaloso. But you know, that's just me. But we're on page 50. Let's start at the top. So why don't I know your name? He asked, cocking his head to the side. Any DB trainee brave enough to wear Snoopy pants in public is worth talking about. My cheeks reddened with embarrassment again, but I forced my voice to stay composed. I'll have you know, these are my favorite pajamas. Sorry we can't all be beautiful werewolves, I say, rolling my eyes. I disagree, Jason says. What are you talking? You're obviously beautiful, he continues. My body freezes. What? And I'm pretty sure you could bite my head off if you wanted to. Plus, it is a full moon tonight if you hadn't noticed. Oh my God, one word. I need to get out of here. I reach down and start unwinding my tangled pajama pants, shooting a death glare at Jason. I don't need an audience, I snap. He has the decency to blush, but makes a big show of turning around slowly so his back is to me. Better. Seething, I go to yank off my pants in one final move, but I'm so flustered that the waistband gets caught around my ankle again. I trip forward, falling face first into Jason's back. Instinctively, I wrap my hands around his waist to steady myself, my cheek buried between his shoulder blades. Without realizing what I'm doing, I inhale deeply. He smells like maple and mint. What? Maple and mint?
Maple and mint.
Like, was he eating pancakes and then chewing gum? Like, what? Is that an impressive smell profile?
Probably not.
Rather forward of you, Jason says. I can't see his face, but I can hear the smirk in his voice. He turns his head looking at me over his shoulder. Or should I say, backwards, enjoying the view? Kill me now, italicized. I step back, my face burning as I finally free myself from these traitorous pajama pants and shove them deep in my bag. I'm torching these things as soon as I get home. Thanks, I say, tossing a stiff nod in his direction and running towards the house, leaving him laughing on the sidewalk. You're welcome, werewolf girl, he calls after me. Great, another nickname, just what I need. I'm cursing myself, Jason, and the entire Charlie Brown gang as I fling open the front door of the trainee house. Holy crap! The place is packed with DB trainees and stars, every square inch covered in empty soju bottles and soda cans, with music practically pounding off the walls and a brand new Samsung frame playing all the latest K-pop music videos. I'm sorry, can somebody tell me what a Samsung frame is that it's important enough to brand name it? Like, you can't just be like, from the television, from the stereo, like it's the Samsung frame. Is that a sponsored post? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, and then it hits me. Jason was headed here too, to the trainee house. This isn't a training session. It's a party. A group of guys turn towards me and wave, yelling out their greetings. I recognize them, but I'm in too much shock to think clearly. I wave slowly back. Yo, Jason! One of them calls over my shoulder. I immediately drop my hand as Jason enters behind me. His friend walks over, and they do that bro hug thing where they clasp opposite hands and clap each other on the back.
We know what it is.
I really need to get out of here. Who's your pretty date? Jason's friend asked, looking at me up and down. Then I realized this isn't just Jason's friend. This is Minjin, lead dancer of Next Boys and global K-pop superstar.
A lot of people are global K-pop superstars.
Right? Like, can we get rid of global K-pop superstar, please? Anyway, this is, Jason pauses, glancing at me. Rachel, I say. At least my voice is still working normally. I haven't completely shut down from shock. I'm a senior trainee at DB. American, he observes, his eyes twinkling. I almost step back, bracing myself for an oncoming insult. Welcome, Rachel. I'm Minjin, he says, like my sister doesn't keep a poster of his face taped up above her bed and kiss it every night. Grab a drink. I blink in confusion, looking over my shoulder at the front door. Every instinct in my body is telling me to leave. This isn't what I was prepared for tonight. Jason put his hand on the back of my elbow, his eyes twinkling. Yeah, Rachel, come join us. He raises a mischievous eyebrow. I can't raise a mischievous eyebrow. Unless, of course, you have a pajama party to get to. I scowl. Then I straighten up, tossing my braids behind my shoulder. I made it all the way here. I have to at least show my face. If anything, I can't leave without getting Leah her autograph. I'd love a drink. The party is already well underway, and I trip over more than a few empty beer cans as I march towards what looks like the bar area, which borders a spacious sunken living room where people are dropping shots of grapefruit soju into beer glasses and downing the whole drink. Someone offers me one, and I take it, sipping lightly around the edge of the glass. I'm not exactly a fan of anything that causes people to lose control and embarrass themselves. I'm good enough at that already, apparently.
What is with the main characters of like romance novels being prudes? They don't have to be prudes to get the point across.
Ooh. Rachel! A voice calls from across the room. I tense up. I recognize that sickly sweet voice anywhere. Mina, appears looking flawless and party ready with blown out hair and sky-high glittery stack heels. She adjusts her miniskirt and crop top while Unji and Lizzie stand behind her, both decked out in perfectly fitting skeins and tiaras. So happy you could make it to our training session. She glances over at the other two girls, who quickly cover their mouths with their hands to hide their laughter. Me too, I chirp back, refusing to back down. Thanks so much for inviting me. Cute outfit, Rachel, Unji says, folding a piece of gum into her mouth as her eyes flicker over my clothes. Did you borrow it from your little sister? I love the hair, Lizzie adds. She reaches over and flicks one of my braids off my shoulder. What a throwback to elementary school. You look uncomfortable, Rachel, Minna says, her face pinching in mock concern. You don't feel out of place without Mr. No here to take care of you, do you? Surely even Princess Rachel must know how to have fun at a party. Mina takes a sip from her cup and eyes me coolly. I want to snap back, calling her out for being a dirty liar and telling her exactly where she can put her late-night training session, but my momentary bravery has run out. Instead, I take another sip from my soju beer mix, wincing at the sour taste, my fist tight around the glass. All of a sudden, Jason pops up behind me, glancing from me to Mina to the other girls with a small smirk on his lips. Jason, Mina coos. I didn't know you were here. Have you come to find me? She asked, sipping casually on her drink. Actually, I was looking for Rachel, Jason answers. Ooh, what? Mina sputters. But how do you know Rachel? I swear to God, if he brings up the pajamas right now, I will kill him with my bare hands. Jason smiles at me. Oh, we go way back. Me and Rachel and Woodstock. Mina opens her mouth.
Woodstock!
Cause Snoopy. Pajama pants.
Oh!
Mina opens her mouth to respond, but right when Jason puts his hand on my shoulder, turning me abruptly and guiding us deeper into the party. I'll have you know, it was Snoopy on my pants, not Woodstock. Woodstock is the dopey little bird. Snoopy is the loyal dog / airplane pilot, I say, laughing as we plop down on a couch in the corner of the room. Jason nods in mock seriousness, draping his arm over my shoulder and pulling me close. You're right. Clearly Snoopy is the superior choice in sleeping wear. Forgive me. I was just trying to make a quick exit. I shoot him a look. What do you mean? Well, we were surrounded by 3 girls who were all staring at you like they wanted to rip your face off, he says, his breath warm against my skin. Relocation seemed like a good idea. The soju is warming its way through my body and I smile. Well, you know what they say. What do they say, werewolf girl? The more people stare at you, the more you must be worth staring at, I giggle, and a tiny burp escapes my mouth. My eyes go wide, and I clap a hand over my mouth as Jason looks on, utterly delighted. Really? He's really delighted that you burped in his fucking face? Okay. He pulls me closer to him on the couch so that my legs are practically on top of his. My mind is whirling. Is this really happening? I definitely should not be flirting with Jason right now. That's basically asking to end up like Susie Choi. Ooh,
Who's Susie?
I don't know, but I hope she's not shading Susie. Not that she had a boyfriend. Not that Jason is my boyfriend. Oh my God, what am I thinking? There's no way I'm asking him for an autograph for Leah now. I close my eyes, trying to press pause on the soju-induced monologue running through my head. Minjin flops down dramatically on the couch next to me, his copper-colored hair sweeping over his eyes. I'm bored, he pouts, and hungry. Jason rolls his eyes at his friend, shifting so that his arms are no longer around me. A shiver courses through my body involuntarily, and I hike the sleeves of my sweater top up over my shoulders to stay warm. Why don't you go see what the chef's left in the kitchen, he says diplomatically. The only thing to eat in the kitchen is kale and spinach smoothies. You remember how they starved us in our trainee days? Minjin sniffed the air. Do you guys smell chicken? I gulp, remembering the Tupperware Uma packed before I left the house. I gingerly reach into my bag. Do you mean this chicken? I say, embarrassed. Ah, sa! Minju shouts, ripping the box out of my hands and opening it.
Really?
Two fried chicken. My favorite, Jason says. This girl is really okay. Now, I do not know where she's coming from, how she ended up in this pajama predicament with Sir Jason. But how does she manage to have fucking fried chicken in her purse? How?
Like Beyonce has hot sauce in her bag.
That's
she
a condiment. She has a whole fucking meal in her purse. So she's the cool girl who wears quirky pajamas and braids at the party. And the boy instantly falls for her and gives her a cute name like Werewolf Girl. And then when she gets into the party, the mean girls are picking on her because they told her that it was a pajama party, but instead it was a real party. Kind of sounds like Legally Blonde and every other teen movie you've ever watched.
That's true.
Right?
Like when Katie showed up to the Halloween party in an actual scary suit, and when Elle went to the formal party dressed up as like one of those Playboy bunnies.
I mean, the biggest fucking trope, like / go-to. And then, of course, the hot guy rescues her from the mean girls because he sees potential in her. And she's not like the other girls. She burps in public. Ooh, how cute.
After realness.
And she also keeps fried chicken in her purse. Not like the other girls.
I get keeping like gum in your purse.
Listen, I'm on the verge of hating Jessica just because I think I hate Rachel. Like, for real, for serial. I might actually hate Jessica because this was the character that she thought, yes, finally an avatar for myself that will get across all the mistreatment that I suffered at the hands of SM Entertainment. People will finally see that I was a good, innocent girl and that the fucking K-pop world tried to ruin me and all I did was my best to try to fit in. No, this girl sounds like a fucking headache. This girl sounds like somebody that I would personally hate. And it's just, I can't wait to read it. I cannot wait to read it because I have a feeling that every chapter is going to be a massive rundown of how fucking silly and borderline stupid this is. And I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for gracing our world with something that we didn't already have. You know, Jessica has the nerve to call out people's plastic surgery in this book because Mason read the first chapter on his channel last night. And yeah, she has the nerve to call out plastic surgery in other people when we all know what Jessica's original eyes and chin look like. And it's just like, are we really going there? Are we really going there? But then in the chapter that Mason read, there is a description of her talent that I want to find it because I want you guys to laugh with me when I read this description because I'm like, you have got to be shitting me. She has the nerve to write this about herself.
How do we know this is all a self-insert?
Because initially the story was advertised as based on true events, but then SM was like, you bet not, we'll sue the shit out of you. And she's like, oh, actually, it's just all fiction. No bearing to real events. Not at all. So,
interesting.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the chapter where they talk about her dancing because it is hilarious. Dancing, yeah. Practice, drawing cute circles. Can't find it because I haven't read this yet. I only remember him reading it out loud. I hadn't had a chance to read it yet. So, of course, I'm not able to find it because I'm a miserable excuse for a person.
No, you're not.
Okay, I think I went too far. I'm sorry. I know you guys are waiting. I'm not saying anything, but I really am trying to find this passage because I have to read this before the night is through. I cannot not read this. Do, 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 do. Okay, here's the passage. This is another character talking to Rachel. This right here. This is on page 4. They are doing mock interviews for like Variety as part of their training, and the interviewer says to her, "Rachel, you received high praise for your talent as the lead vocalist. Do you find your talent inspires the other girls to do better and work harder?" And then Mina, the lead character here, is like, speaking as lead dancer of the group. Girl, this is ridiculous. This is really, really ridiculous. So there's one character talking about how somebody's nose looks plastic. Again, the nerve. Woo. The absolute nerve.
We don't like that in this house.
And then she makes a statement, I guess, about how this is the reason why she's different from the other girls.
I'm not like other girls.
I like to pretend it's because I'm taking my mom's advice to heart. You know, be the bigger person, always take the high road, never let them see you sweat. The mantras of strong, American-minded feminists everywhere. American strong-minded feminist.
You're reading a bit too much. I don't think she can handle the heat.
Considering that her boyfriend owns the entertainment company she's signed to, I'm just saying, doesn't sound like.
I mean, you're giving her all the smoke tonight. She can't handle it.
She can have it. She can have it. She can have it. She can absolutely have it. There's one passage in here where she says that she was like the best singer and the best dancer, but I'm not going to find it right now. And I don't care to look for it any longer because that's just not my ministry. Obviously, the Lord didn't want me to get it like right at the tip of my fingers. All I got to say is this, Jessica, you're never going to watch this video. You're never going to watch this video because I'm far too small of a person for you to pay any advantage of. But if I were you, Jessica, I would not have written this book as I am the Rachel Kim character. If I were you and I was smart, I would have written this book as the female CEO of an entertainment group. And then all of the stories I would have told would have been from the point of view of a CEO who's working on debuting a girl group and all the challenges they face from like girls who don't get along, girls who are doing scandalous shit, girls who have botched plastic surgery, the drama that goes on behind the scenes while you're trying to get the group off the ground, interacting with other CEOs, knowing the dirt that other CEOs do. Like, I would have done it from that point of view because I think if you had decided to do this story from the point of view of a character who you have a lot of inside information about, but not necessarily a character who's an avatar for yourself, this would have been a lot more effective. Like, imagine, if you will, that she wrote this book from the point of view of the CEO or the point of view of a manager. Like, just imagine she's like, okay, I'm not the CEO, but I'm like a K-pop manager, because the K-pop manager knows more about the girls in a group than anybody else in the company for the most part, besides the other girls, because they have to be with them at all their schedules, hold all their phones, do all the like grunt work for them. If you had written it from the point of view of that character, that would have been amazing, because this would be somebody who would not only know like all the secrets of everybody. You're not casting yourself in this overly positive light. You're just like, I'm kind of the eyes and ears of the underground of the K-pop world. But also, if you had done that, then you would have been able to talk about a lot more stuff. Because right now, you have to be very careful that when you talk about this, that you don't name names, and you don't make it seem like people can tie characters too closely to people in real life, even though you're obviously talking about Taeyeon. Anyway, I digress. But if you had done it to where you are a manager or you're a CEO, then you could be like, these are anecdotes from all the things I ever heard about anybody while I was in K-pop. And then it would be very difficult for people to like pin certain stuff and be like, oh, she's absolutely talking about this person. Because to be honest, from reading this passage, I don't feel like you're a super talented writer. I feel like you would be an amazing fan fiction writer for sure. But you use a little bit too many adjectives, a little too many go-to like tired tropes. Like, it's not very inventive. And then the fact that you made sure that the main character is an avatar for you makes it almost seem like you don't have any awareness outside of yourself. Like, you know your side of the story, that you've never actually sat down, bless you, and taken the time to think about what does your story look like if you weren't the one telling it. And I think that's a really important job for an author to do. I think that most authors who are trying to have multiple voices in their work understand that you have to be able to see the story you're writing from the perspective of every character involved in that story. So when I'm telling the story of Marianne, who's got 5 kids, if I'm going to write from one of the children's voices, imagine that story from the eyes of Marianne's 3rd child. Or imagine the story by the eyes of Marianne's husband. Or imagine the story of behind Marianne's coworker. But you have to be able to take all of these different views in order for you to give a very well-rounded 3D realistic character. And right now, Rachel sounds like a fucking Mary Sue.
She does.
She's too beautiful. She's too talented. She's too morally upright. She's way too, like, the great girl instead of possibly a little bit of an asshole.
Like, how are you writing from the perspective of the girl next door?
Yeah, like, you can write from the girl next door, but the girl next door has real flaws. And right now, Rachel's only flaw is that she gets nervous sometimes. That doesn't even sound like a real flaw. And so I would have appreciated, like, okay, the scene that we just read where she is confronted by 3 kind of bullying girls. Instead of Jason having to swoop in and rescue her, if she had managed to find a way to extract herself from that situation, and then she met up with Jason on the other side of the room, he's like, hey, I saw what you did there. You're pretty fucking awesome. Because then, if we're saying she's not like the other girls, we're like, yeah, because she just one-upped the other girl. She just read them the riot act. She just showed them that they can't compete with her when it comes to a game of wits. But instead, you made to where she had one kind of snappy comeback, and then this man had to extract her from the group. Not only that, but like early on in the story, you talk very briefly, or you mention the idea of being an American feminist, but it sounds like Rachel has no problem crawling up under a guy to save her. And that speaks to kind of a disingenuousness about it. Like, oh, poor me, I got tricked by the bully girls. If only some man would come and pull me out of the situation. And I mean, you might have thought you were doing something there, but you're not. And like, the majority of this story is about Rachel and her journey through trying to attain K-pop stardom, and then her love story with Jason Lee, which I feel like is an avatar for Taecyeon from 2PM, but probably also is a combination of her current boyfriend. And if that's the case, there's not any make-believe man you can write that will ever make me think that your current boyfriend is any good. And it's only because, like, Playback started off really promising. I really liked Hit the Playback, that song, and then it just fell apart, and he basically ruined their careers. And then you had a very promising solo start because you had all that goodwill from Girls' Generation that you could have taken with you into your solo career, but because you didn't want to push yourself to greatness, and he didn't care to push you to greatness because he just wanted to bank on your former notoriety, what you released was very simplistic and not very engaging and very forgettable. If you ask me today, can I remember any of the B-sides for Jessica's Fly album? I could not. I cannot remember any B-sides because, as far as I was concerned, it just wasn't good. Yeah, and like the lawsuit that you lost in China, you signed a bad contract, your boyfriend gave you bad advice, you did bad things based on his bad advice, and then you lost a ton of money based on him telling you you could beat this lawsuit. You probably got warned before you got this lawsuit that, hey, we need you to do a certain something, and you didn't want to do it. And now look at you. Now, Mason, he sent me a link. He had it on his Twitter feed. It was a link to, I think it was Elle magazine was interviewing Jessica about her bookshelf because she's an author. And if you have not watched that video, I highly recommend you watch that video. In the video, Jessica mentions that her favorite books are Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, a book called Letters to Layla, I think, that one of her fans gave her. Wild Doll is another favorite of hers. Like, it's just, oh, and The Notebook. And The Notebook is another big favorite of hers. She confesses that she's never read Lord of the Rings. Yeah, her bookshelf is color coded and has a bunch of gaps in it because she probably really doesn't read that many books. And I don't know. I'm not saying you can't write a book. I think that you definitely could have hired a much more talented ghostwriter to help you write this book. And if you did not hire a ghostwriter and you wrote this all yourself, please hire a ghostwriter to help you write this. just because like there's a lot of editing that could have been done here.
I'm choking on the smoke now.
But you absolutely could have approached this project in a totally different way. You could have turned this into a series, honestly. You really could have. You could have turned this into a series. It would have been really cool. It could have been a like YA series. But definitely you need somebody who's got more writing experience to help you to not write something that is so tired and so played and so been done before, and that you and I both know is only marketable because you have your name attached. Because quiet as it's kept, there are a lot of second gen fans who are going to buy this hoping to see T, and they're going to find out it doesn't have T, and then when you try to release your next book, we are not going to bother, like straight up and down. You're burning a bridge with this, and I haven't even finished it, but from the little I've read so far, if this novel doesn't have a point basically, you're not going to be able to market a second novel because people aren't going to want to read it, because they're not going to want to read more of the same. They're going to want new stuff. Like there were so many things you could have written about. If you had wrote this from the vantage point of a CEO, you could have looked at it from the point of view of a female CEO who has a male idol underneath them that they can't control, and then he gets involved with some kind of cacao talk-esque scandal. You could have taken this story and talked about the Gina situation, Gina from Cube, and kind of framed it that way, of like a rogue manager who pimps out a celebrity by accident. You could have talked about the girls who pimp out their stuff. I mean, hopefully there's somewhere in this book where y'all talk about how idols give away fan gifts that they don't use. You could have talked about how the expenses related to training, I hope that's in here. I hope that they talk about how you have to have different videos for, or not videos, different costumes for all your music performances, kind of the toll of flying back and forth from Japan and Korea for promotions, what it's like to debut in Japan. Like, there's so many other things that would have been really cool to talk about in this book that I don't believe that you're gonna get into, because it feels very one-dimensional. It feels like this is going to be all about like a love story and bully girls, and that's it. But anyway, that's all. This video has gone on way longer than I intended to. It's been almost an hour. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I will talk with you later. Bye. Look for next week. I'll do chapter 1. I might pre-film some of this stuff and then schedule it for like releases on YouTube, because you can do that. You can upload a video and then schedule the release time. But yeah, book club starts next week. We'll be working our way through Jessica Jung's Shine, and hopefully we'll be having a good time, because I know I'm going to have a great time tearing this up. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, I heard that there was a movie deal for this, which...
Imagine if it does get made into a movie, you're gonna have to watch it.
Maybe. It depends. Like, if it's one of those things where it's like PVOD, fuck no. Fuck no. I'm not doing paid video on demand for the Jessica Jung movie. Now, if it's on Netflix for free, I'll watch it. I'll expect it to be trash, and more than likely it will be. But it does beg the question, who do you cast for something like that? Because any girl who wants a career in K-pop is not going to do the Jessica Jung autobiographical
No.
movie. It's just not going to happen. It would have to be somebody who absolutely has no desire to have a career in Korea at all. And it would have to be girls who don't want a career in Korea. It wouldn't be just the Rachel character. It'd be all the girls who make up this girls group. It would have to be a guy who has no desire to have a career in Korea. Yeah, it would have to be a whole bunch of people who have no desire to be involved in K-pop in any way, shape, or form. Because anybody else who wants a K-pop career is not going to ruin their chances by starring in this thing. Because companies will be like, you have embarrassed us, you've talked bad about us, you've slandered us, we're not going to be signing you onto anybody's contract. So, you know who's probably going to play the lead role on this, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit harder? I bet Alexa, what's it? The girl who Jerry did the video with, and she won the contest from Soompi to be like the K-pop idol, and she did the song, and now she has a podcast on Tableau's podcast network. I think it's Alexa. Is it Alexa? Alex? Is it Alex? I think it's like either Alex or Alexa. Can't remember Homegirl's name. She's a really good dancer. She's she sings. But she's a really good dancer. She's a really good dancer. I mean, I would never shade her dancing. She's a really good dancer. She seems like a nice girl. But she was on Produce season 3. Her singing was kind of rough. Not gonna lie to you, her singing was kind of rough. And I feel like she would probably do this book only because she would think, yes, that girl. I think she would do this book only because at this point in the game, she probably does not think that her K-pop career is going to blow up big. And so she would be willing to do this just to see if it like gets more kind of attention towards her, and then she could maybe try to bank off that for future engagement. So I could absolutely see her being willing to do this, because at this point, what does she have to lose? But yeah, no. I can't think of any other woman who want to be a K-pop star who's willing to like start their career off like being involved with this. Can't think of it. So anyway, like I said, I gotta go. Talk to you guys later. Bye.